There we go. I think it should be recording now. Yep, there we go. All right, guys, welcome to the weekly Power Up and Market Update. I hope that you guys had a tremendous weekend. Thank each and every single one of you that is here live listening to this presentation. And for those of you that are listening on the replay, thank you also for tuning in on the replay. So I'm just going to get started here with the first slide just to go over our movement, how it all started up. I always like to start off this meeting just sharing with you guys how we started at Let's Grow Movement. 4 years ago, decided to partner up with EXP, and I started off with three gals here that you see on this picture. So I always like to give credit and acknowledge this is how we started. And we're fast forward here, moving almost to 2,000 agents, 4 years later. It's absolutely been life-changing. So I just want to say thank you for you guys that are here, that are part of our movement, part of our organization. I'm extremely grateful. And I'm extremely grateful for the future business partners that we're going to have this year. I'll go into our vision, right? Our vision is to become a global leader in the real estate industry by partnering with the most productive, innovative, and purpose-driven, keyword, purpose-driven leaders. We're dedicated to driving growth, success for our agents and teams, and providing exceptional service to our clients, right? That's how we're going to be able to accomplish all our goals, by providing exceptional service, going above and beyond, right? Adding value, right? And I think a lot of people talk about adding value, but what does that even mean? Adding value means that you are giving a service that is so tremendous that your customers are going to be, wow, this individual knows their stuff, and they're giving me information and they're giving me value that is outside of the norm, right? Because in this day and age, everything that we have available at our fingertips, Google and the internet, we have, new artificial intelligence programs like ChatGPT. Everything is at the fingerprints of everybody right now. So you got to determine how you're going to be able to bring your value proposition to your clients. That way you can add value. Just want to share a little quick here about our goals, right? Because I think that if you talk about your goals, and if you talk about your goals daily and you review your goals daily, and I like to review my goals twice a day, you have a ton of more opportunities to actually accomplish your goals. I think that what happens is that most people talk about their goals, whenever they make their New Year's resolution, they say, you know what, this year I'm going to go ahead and represent this many clients, and I'm going to make this amount of money. If you talk about it once a year, you have 1 out of 365 possibilities to get that goal accomplished. What if you talked about your goals and you looked at your goals once a day? That's 365 opportunities, right? And you got to remember that your brain is a servo mechanism. So what does that mean? Is that your brain is serving you based on what you input to your mind. So if you're putting into your mind that, hey, my goal is to serve X amount of families, well, if you're only talking about it once, you're going to forget, because in this day and age, you got to remember that we are more distracted than ever. So you got to get focused on talking about your goals. So this year's goal for me and our organization, Let's Grow Movement with EXP, is serving 21,000 families, 10 billion in volume, and growing an organization of over 10,000 agents. That is the goal for the year. Now, we're going to move on to the powerful trainings, and I'll show you guys what they look like. You guys should have already received a text message and an email with these trainings as well. Make sure that you guys look at those emails. Make sure you guys bookmark those emails and tune into the trainings, because we got some really cool stuff happening. All of our trainings, by the way, are designed to empower you on productivity, lead generation, skill building, and content creation. And I'm going to show you here really quickly what those trainings are, and I'll go into some of the key ones that we're going to be talking about. The Monday Mastermind with Dream Chasers, they do that at 9 o'clock every Monday. We also have a weekly script Zoom call with JJ Hada, Mr. Jose Martinez here, Ms. Liliana Matos. We're doing this also Mondays, Thursdays. The weekly Power Up, which you guys are tuning into right now. Skills Mastery, right, with Mr. Moises out in Bakersfield. They do about 140 transactions. They crush it. He's doing that Monday through Thursday. We're also doing contracts and disclosures training, Tech Tuesdays, KV Core, all of the really cool tools that we have available that's being led by the Richard Dascom team. Make sure you guys are tuning into that. I'm going to drop this link also here in the chat. You guys should have got a text with this and also got an email with this, but just in case you did not, I'm going to go ahead and drop it here into the chat so you guys can bookmark that. And one of the specific trainings that I want to talk about is this one here that's happening tomorrow. Typically, our content creator mastermind is happening on Wednesdays, but this week, because I have a speaking engagement on a Wednesday, I moved my content creator mastermind to tomorrow at 2 o'clock. And this one, you guys do not want to miss. I'm going to be interviewing Gabe Mendez. And for those of you guys already know Gabe Mendez, he is, I mean, not only is he an amazing professional, he is crushing it on social media, Instagram, YouTube. I mean, I think one of his videos has over 10 million views on YouTube. And he did over 100 transactions. He made over $1.2 million last year in commission utilizing his social media platforms. So this training you do not want to miss tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Again, make sure that you guys are in the email list so you guys can get the link to register, but this is going to be game changer. So that's going to happen tomorrow at 2 o'clock. The other thing, I'm also going to be speaking at the Go Heavy event. This is going to be an event that's happening this Wednesday here in Orange County. Starts off at 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to be speaking with David Meltzer, Inky Johnson, also Nick Santonastaso, which is an amazing motivational individual that literally has no limbs and has been, I mean, honestly, I heard him speak and it changed my life. I mean, I was moved in tears with his story, right? And we think that, you know, we go through difficult things, but this man has gone through a lot of difficult situations, you know, just being born in the conditions that he was in, and he's been able to transform his life, and he's been able to transform the lives of millions of people. So this event's happening in Orange County Wednesday. Make sure you guys get your tickets to that event. Also, if you guys wanted to learn foreclosures, there's also another event happening in the morning, also with Louis Chavez, Galen Barnes. It's a 7-figure blueprint. This is all about foreclosures. These guys are signing 7 to 10 listings a week with foreclosures. So also make sure you guys tune into this training. These 2 trainings, by the way, are live training. So that's going to be something that if you want to go to, you're going to have to drive yourself there. It's not going to be Zoom like this, but it's going to be super powerful. Very excited about that. The other thing is I'm also doing a Facebook and Instagram live with this gentleman here, Eric Adalia. He's out in Lake Havasu, and this guy hit icon with our company, and get this, 28 days. 28 days he hit icon with our company. So, you know, most people are, you know, kind of taking a couple of months, 6 months, a year, right, to hit icon. This guy did it in 28 days. What does that mean? He not only capped, he also did 20 transactions after that. So he did almost 30 transactions within 28 days. So I'm going to be interviewing him live, and he's going to be sharing his story on how he did it. And this is going to be powerful. So make sure you guys are tuning in. It's going to be on my personal Facebook and Instagram page. I'm going to be hosting that. So this is going to be game changer. The other thing, I'm going to get into numbers, right? What happened in the market this past week? In the last 7 days, I actually did notice that transaction volume was down. Transaction volume was down this last week, but again, I'm keeping numbers right every 7 days, right? So in order for us to really determine what's happening, we got to look at the whole month. And I usually like to do a monthly update, but since we're keeping the numbers weekly, I did notice that from last week to this week, like just in LA, for example, I usually see volume about 800 million. We only had a half a billion in production, which is still a ton of production, by the way, right? Why I like to share these numbers is to get you guys connected to the fact that no matter what's going on and whether the market's going up or it's going down, we still have a ton of volume here. You know, there's been in the last 7 days, we had 895 homes that were activated. That means that somebody signed with the listing agent 895 times just in LA County, right? And we also look at Orange County. We had 248 listings signed in the last 7 days, 317 in San Bernardino, 444 in Riverside, and 363 in San Diego County. Volume in Orange County, we had 291 million last 7 days, 111 million in volume in San Bernardino, 195 in Riverside, and 212 million in volume in the last 7 days. So again, I like to share this because that means that's almost 1.3 billion in production just in these 5 counties, just in 7 days. The average days on the market, as you could see, are anywhere from 39 days all the way to 56 days on the market, depending on the county that you're looking at. So properties are taking a little bit longer on the market. But what I have noticed is that the prices have been holding steady. Like the average price point of each of one of these homes, even though they're lasting a little bit longer on the market, even though there's less volume, the prices are holding steady, right? So these prices are not like massively dipping. I mean, I'm doing the average sales price per each county. So I just want to keep you guys updated of what's happening. And these numbers, by the way, again, the volume is down, doesn't mean that sales are not happening, right? No matter what the market's doing. If it's going up, it's going down, the interest rate go up, the interest rate go down, whatever is going on, there's always business to be done. So you just want to understand that the language of business is numbers. You want to know these numbers. That way, when you're out there talking to your buyers and to your sellers, you can give them some education on what's happening. And they're going to be looking at you again as the professional, not just to read off whatever you read on the internet, but to do due diligence, to be an expert, right? You really got to become an expert and educate your customers at a very, very high level. So if you're going after the expired market, this is what's going on in the expired. 518 happened last week. If you are tackling expired, by the way, you know, great platforms that you can use are like a Vulcan 7, for example. You can get all this data. You can get phone number, email, all that good stuff. That way you can target these owners. But these are customers, obviously, that were on the market that, you know, they didn't sell. So now they're expired. And a lot of these will come on the market again, right after they get, you know, 100, 200 calls. So this strategy, I have a lot of agents that are tackling expireds and they're crushing it, signing listings, you know, almost daily just with this strategy. So, you know, I tell everybody right now, what should I do? Should I do open houses? Should I do door knocks? Should I do expired? Should I contact for sale by owners? Should I call my past clients? You should do everything right now. That's what you should do. You should do everything right now. You should do 10x of everything, because when the market is changing, when the market is pessimistic, you got to be a voice. You got to be a microphone for the industry. That way people look at you as the source of, hey, you know what? If I want to, you know, if I want to hire an agent, I want to hire the one that knows what's going on in the market. No matter what is going on, sales will continue to happen. So make sure that you guys are tuning into that information and you guys know your stuff. And by the way, you guys don't only have to contact via phone. I would personally, when I was dialing expired, I was literally dropping off, you know, my information, knocking on their door. So you want to make sure that you guys are doing that as well. Not only just on the phone, make sure you pop by, right? Pick your farm area, become an expert, you know, go to the knock on these homeowners' doors, let them know, hey, I just, you know, got some keys over to my client that I just sold, right? And I want to help you to do the same thing. What's up? Can I help you out? What's going on? What's your goal? What was the original motivation? By the way, for sellers, the one thing you want to have is a conversation always, right? It's not about what the property is going to sell for. Yes, they care about the net, but the main motivation for a seller is where they're going to next. What's their motivation, right? You got to understand their why on why they're doing it. And that's what you have to continuously talk to the customer. That way you can motivate them to actually make the move. This is what happened in our stock price. Actually, our stock price is increasing. We're at $14.01 per share, right? So our valuation of our company is going up. Our market cap is over $2 billion. So, you know, shareholders, I just want to congratulate you. Our stock is up, right? So this is a really, really good indicator. The industry is recognizing that our platform is not only dominating, but is thriving in this economy. And we were built for a economy just like this. I've been talking to my mentors, you know, for the last couple of months, and they were telling me, like, you know what, our platform, our model, it's going to really shine in these new changes that are happening in the market. So this is a clear indicator of that, right? Our stock valuation is up over 2.1 billion in market valuation. So interest rates went down, which is really cool too, right? You got to know this. Mortgage update, our interest rates, and obviously check with your preferred lender, right? Find out what it is for them specifically in their scenario. But I asked my lender, hey, you know what? Give me like a what's a general for an FHA or conventional? 5.75 for FHA, conventional 5.99. So it's a little bit down. Again, there's different types of products and programs. Just know your stuff, right? Know your numbers. That's the most important thing. And remember this, you guys are not secret agents, right? You guys are not secret agents, by the way. I just want to really remind you guys of that. You got to be visible more than ever. And remember that real estate is a contact sport. Like it really is, right? The 3 things that you got to do daily are have conversations, right? Talk to buyers, talk to sellers, and negotiate contracts. Those are your 3 jobs every single day. I know that a lot of the stuff that I share about is repetitive, and we have to repeat, because the things that make the big difference in success, right? In the greats, if you look at, the Kobe Bryants and the Michael Jordans, if you look at their performance and what they were doing the basics, and they were mastering the basics. So you want to make sure that you're mastering conversations with buyers, with sellers, and negotiations of contracts. Those are your 3 jobs. This is not the time to retreat. This is not the time to be quiet. You guys got to get yourselves out there and be louder more than ever. I'm pretty sure that you guys have seen an uptick on my social media. Just to give you guys some perspective, right? Like seriously, I was doing 1 video a week. 1 video a week. That's what I was doing before. And that was consistent, right? So at least I was consistent at my 1 video a week. Then my coach said, Leo, you should be doing 2 videos a day. And I said, are you kidding me? 2 videos a day? I'm like, I can barely do 1 video a week, dude. Like, how am I going to do 2 videos a day? So I took on his challenge, and I did it all December, and I've done it all January. I'm doing 2 videos a day. So I did more content in the last two months than I did in the last 2 years. So what has happened, because of the sheer volume that I've been putting out there, I've learned faster. I've learned what works, what doesn't work. And I'm just doing what I'm inspired to talk about. Like, right. I don't have a blueprint. So what I would encourage you to do, if you guys are putting yourselves out there, listen to the inner guidance system within yourself and try to find out, what you want to share, but also do it from a place of authenticity, because your community is going to connect with you with your authenticity. So you got to promote yourself. Again, this is a contact sport. I'm not even telling you how you should have these contacts and conversations. It could be expired. It could be for sale by owners. It could be dial out neighborhoods. That's one of the things that I did at a high level. Like that became my one strategy when I was a listing agent, because expireds and for sale by owners are, they were kind of a smaller piece of the pie. What I would do is that I would call neighborhoods, the neighborhood that I wanted to dominate in. So I would just call around the neighborhood and literally say, hey, I just wanted to let you know that there was a record sale. I don't know if somebody else's mic is on. Let me see. Let me just turn it off here. Microphone, and there we go. Microphone. Cool. Awesome. So when I was dialing out to neighborhoods, going back to the intention I wanted to share, I was calling homeowners and I was telling them, hey, Mr. or Miss Seller, I just want to let you know that I just sold a property for your neighbor down the street at a record price. And I wanted to find out if you knew anyone else that might be interested in making a move. That was my pitch to every single client in that neighborhood. And when I would call, right, again, they were like, oh, let me think about it. Actually, I haven't heard of anybody. That's kind of like the response you're going to get from a lot of people. But then I would ask another question. I would say, hey, by the way, have you considered making a move? Have you considered making a move? And then they would say, well, you know what? I haven't considered. I've thought about it, right? They're going to tell you whichever way. So the next question I would ask, if you were to move, where would you move to next, right? I want to get some sort of motivation. You want to engage with them. You want to have a conversation and a dialogue. And then they would start to share about their dreams. Oh, you know what? I would like to be, closer to my son. I would like to be closer to my daughter. I would like to have a 2-bedroom because my home is too big, right? So you start to find the motivation, but you got to ask questions. You got to ask questions and get intriguing questions. That way they can think about it. And that's what I would do. And I use the platform, by the way, if you guys are curious, to get all the cell phone numbers. I use Cole Realty Resource. ColeRealtyResource.com has all of the cell phone data of any neighborhood anywhere. If you guys want to dial out and literally have a consistent time block, which I recommend that you have at least on bare minimum, you have an hour of a time block, right, to talk to new prospects. And, if you don't have any customers, you should make that 2 to 3 hours minimum, right? This is your only job, right? This is your only job. So these are the ideas, right? Make sure that you guys are, getting a powerful morning routine. That way you guys are getting your energy right. Feed your mind, read a book, watch a YouTube video, do something to put your mindset in the in the place where you're going to be able to attract do some movement, right? Whether that be yoga, whether that be running, walking your dog, going to the gym, do something. And then also visualize how you want your day to be. Visualize you having powerful conversations. And I actually did a video about this yesterday, which I didn't include in the ideas here, but it was about asking yourself powerful questions, right? Powerful questions. Because a lot of the times what happens, right? We go through life and, something happens and, maybe we got a deal that falls out, or we have a seller that, becomes very angry, or a buyer, or we just, our pipeline dries up, or something personal happens, right? And what typically happens is that, you ask yourself, like, why does this always happen to me? Like, why? Like, why is this happening to me again, right? Why am I so stupid or something, right? I used to have that mantra for myself in the past, like, oh my God, what an idiot. Like, why did I do that again, right? That was the kind of affirmation, that was the kind of question that I would say to myself in the past, right? And obviously that wasn't serving me. And what my brain was saying, was like, oh, why are you so stupid? Okay, let me give you all these reasons why you're so stupid, right? But the thing is that you got to ask yourself more powerful questions. What if you said, why am I so brilliant? Like, why do I always have the best ideas? Why am I always at the right place at the right time? Why do I always attract the best people in my life? Why do I always attract opportunities? Why do I always attract listings to my life? Why do I always attract the most motivated buyers? Why do I make so much money? Right? Why am I always so happy? Why am I so healthy? Right? You got to ask yourself these powerful questions, and the brain is going to start to look for these opportunities. So something else I wanted to say there, and then do 2 appointments a day, guys. 2 appointments, right? Like your whole focus of your day. And I'm talking about, this is new prospects, by the way. Just don't get in the habit of, oh, let me call the people I talked to in the past. If you keep calling the people that you've talked to in the past, that's considered follow-up, right? That's considered follow-up. And follow-up is an essential part of this game. So you want to make sure you follow up, but I'm talking about new lead generation. You got to have new conversations, right? Every single day, you got to have 2 new appointments, and leverage your community. By the way, you guys are sitting on gold. You guys know human beings. You guys know people in your environments. You guys got to plug in and talk to the people that are in business, people that are attorneys, people that are business owners. Talk to them, get in relationship with them, take them to lunch. I know a guy that makes $500,000 a year just by taking his top 5 clients to lunch once a month. And he spends about $100 on each one of those lunches, but it's a really good lunch. They kind of hang out for like 2 hours, but he makes $500,000 a year just by hanging out with these 5 guys, right? So you got to make it to where you're figuring out who are your top 5 in your life that could be your lead generation referral sources, and invest time into them, right? Take them to lunch, take them to a game, do something that's going to build the relationship. This is a relationship game, right? The more powerful your relationships are, the more these people are going to think about you, right? You can't just be like just a number, just another agent. You got to be their friend. You got to be their trusted advisor, right? And share your goals to create accountability. If you guys don't have a buddy you've shared your goals with, make sure you share your goals, because in addition to you reading your own personal goals, you want to make sure that, you share with somebody else, right? And somebody else that also is up to something. Don't share it with people that don't have goals, because then they're going to talk to you and say, oh, you believe in that? Like, you got to talk to people that are talking about possibilities, right? You got to share your goals with people like that. Prospect. Cool. The book that I want to talk about this week as well is called 3 Magic Words. This is a really good book. I'm not done with it, to be 100% honest with you guys, but I'm loving it so far. So I just wanted to share with you guys this book and some of the top points that I found on this book, right? So number 1, the power of words and the impact they have on our thoughts and actions. That was the first point in the book. How to harness the power of I am to manifest your desires, right? Whatever you attach to the word I am is going to be a command, right? You got to understand that whatever you attach to I am is a command. Whatever you attach to I am is a command. I'm going to say it a couple of times because I want you guys to hear it. The importance of being mindful of the words you use and the thoughts they generate, right? Again, if you put these words in your subconscious and your conscious mind, and you're using these words, it's going to unlock different doors and different opportunities. The power of affirmations and how to use them effectively, right? Being affirmations, by the way, you got to do them in the present moment, and they have to be personal. They have to connect with your heart. the role of visualization in achieving your goals, right? Also, make sure you're spending some time in visualizing, using the most powerful tool that you have available, which is your mind, right? Spend some time and actually do that. Also, the concept of I am being the key to the universal power, right? So I would encourage you guys, if you guys want to pick up this book or not, read something, stimulate your mind. That's the most important thing. 17 years later, guys, 17 years later, I'm still investing in myself daily, right? I like to look at personal development sort of like taking a shower. I take a shower daily, right? You guys got to take a shower daily, because what if you guys only took a shower once a week? After a week, you probably going to be a little stinky, right? So if you want to also be intentional about your development, you got to do it daily. It's not a once in a while type of thing. You got to do it a daily habit. A life of progress is a choice. So you got to make sure that you're choosing, hey, am I going to progress, or am I going to be kind of stagnant? Am I going to be okay? Am I kind of satisfied, right? And you got to keep growing. At least that's what I believe, right? And obviously, if you're comfortable where you're at, kudos to you. What will you create this week, right? Be intentional and specific. How many listings are you signing? How many open escrows? How many closings? What are you doing for agent attraction if that's part of your goals? But you have to be very specific with this, again, because the brain is a servo mechanism, right? So whatever kind of command that you give to your mind, it's going to be what you're going to get as an output, right? And make your goals, by the way, based on you creating them authentically in this moment. It's not about saying, oh, well, I only did a deal last week, so I'm going to just do a deal this week. Or I didn't do nothing last week, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. If you have that kind of attitude and that kind of intention, you're not going to get there. You can't get somewhere if you don't know where you're going, right? So how do you know where you're going? Well, you got to put your goal down. So who I am is the possibility of being resourceful and energetic and enthusiastic and grateful, right? Pick some words that resonate with you, right? Borrow mine or read some. But your activities, everything I shared about in this presentation, it's all going to be around the way you're showing up, right? What's your energy, right? Your energy is your currency, right? So if you want to amplify your conversations, if you want to amplify your income, if you want to have higher income, higher energy, right? That's the key. Higher energy is the key to everything. So you want to make sure that you're checking yourself when you're about to pick up that call. Make sure you're not sounding super like, oh, the market's done. The market's all right. Like you're literally talking yourself out of it, and you're talking your clients out of it. You got to raise your energy when you're talking to your customers, right? I bet you guys anything, you guys would have tuned out if my energy was like super low. You guys wouldn't be listening to me. You guys got to amplify your energy. So that's basically the conclusion of this meeting. I'd like to make it 30 minutes tops. Thank you guys for being here. This has been recorded, so it will be recorded and sent out to you guys via email. But make sure that you guys go to the Content Creator Mastermind tomorrow, and you guys go to the Facebook Live and tune in with Mr. Eric Gedalia. I think it's going to be super, super powerful, and very excited that you guys are here. Good to see you. And Felice, Daniel, thank you guys for turning on your cameras. Thank you guys for being here. Cole Realty, Cole, C-O-L-E, ColeRealtyResource.com. That's where you get the phone numbers and the data. It's a very, very powerful tool. And if you guys still don't find it, or you guys are uncertain, just feel free to text me, send me an Instagram, send me a Facebook message, send me something. But get out there, make it happen, guys. This is your time. This is your season. This is the time to make it happen. This is the time to go all in. Let's go heavy. All right. Sounds good, guys. Peace. I'll see you guys later.